Welcome on in back to another day of ESL Challenger League Oceania. It is season 49 and there's a lot happening within the OCE region. It's me, Elfish Guy, and Pilski back once again. We're here to talk about Counter-Strike. Pilski, you've had some fun this evening, spilled some sauce all over yourself. You feeling good?
Yeah, things are getting saucy already, all over my shirt. Thank God this is not a canned show. I had a bit of a kebab mishap already. My dog is staring at me longingly, but I'm staring right at the screen because we've got a hell of an Oceanic Counter-Strike match on our hands. Mindfreak against Art of War. It should be a pretty good game, I'm thinking.
Yeah, this is a bit of an El Clasico, I guess, at this point in time. We've seen it quite a bit over, I suppose, the last maybe 6 months or so. These two teams running into each other in various qualifiers and stuff like ESL Challenger League and stuff like that. But Art of War, they're a bit of an interesting roster at times. They tend to cycle through some players. So I'm interested to see who's going to be in the server tonight. I did see a ESL Challenger League game earlier on in the season where they had Alistair in at one point. So that's kind of fun. But on the other side of the coin, obviously, Mindfreak, when it comes to these guys, they are obviously, grinding it out with that core five, and they've been looking pretty good. It's just a case of how far can they really take it, I guess, is the question for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, they're getting kind of on the verge of qualifying for some of these international events. They're playing in some of these, ranked events, I guess you could say, within Asia, having to play on ping and things like that, as teams like Rooster. 3-3 overall in the season, so it's not like they've had a flawless season by any means. They've already dropped a couple of games. You did mention something that is interesting as well, though. Talent currently 0-0. They are a team somewhat similar to Art of War that has players that come from abroad, or a player that comes from abroad, rather. And now you're going to be seeing them playing their first ECL game, at least according to the schedule tonight. I'm wondering if they're just going to try and bang out as many of these best of twos as they can in a short time frame so that they can maximize their time playing here in OCE.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's not the game that we're covering, but I think it is a particularly interesting one. So I'm just having a quick look on HLTV, and I can see in the server, you have Malta and Sterling playing for Talent today in place of Azza and MHL, respectively. Okay. So, obviously having to come in with a couple of substitutes for the guys who I presume are living permanently overseas. The rest of the Talent lads potentially, I guess, playing from home. But conversation to be had definitely about what's happening in that team. And I've been hearing some things. We'll talk about that maybe on the podcast. Either way, we'll take it back to Art of War and Mindfreak. You say this is going to be a good matchup. I'm sort of interested. I think for me personally, I'm probably leaning pretty heavily towards Mindfreak for this